This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The Caribbean island of Dominica is taking a beating from Tropical Storm Erika, which has already proven to be a deadly storm. In fact, officials there are searching for additional people missing that they're also presuming dead. They're reaching out to their international community for any kind of assistance to a storm that early estimates predict has left hundreds of millions of dollars in damage. We get that story tonight from Clint Watson.
We have lost lives, we have lost property, the infrastructure of Dominica has been damaged nationally.
Tropical Storm Erika wreaking havoc in Dominica. It is reported that the island and the Lesser Antilles experienced almost 9 inches of rain in just over 6 hours. That created massive flooding, washing some houses off their foundation and resulting in raging floods downtown. Even more ominous, according to Cecil Joseph, general manager of the government-run Dominica Broadcasting Station, this storm has claimed lives.
We have lost about unconfirmed 6 people. In terms of the river has taken two lives. We have also understood that the infrastructure sometimes they're landslides because of the mountainous part of Dominica. So that has taken some lives itself. And right now I can say Dominica is shut down. Basically, there is no work.
Joseph says those businesses near the coastline have sustained serious damage as well as the island's infrastructure, so much so that he is appealing to the international community for help.
The road network has been depleted, and by so people are not able to move from one area to the other. So it's very, very, very difficult. And we just call on everybody that is out there who might be hearing my voice, see how they can really give us some level of assistance to help in terms of our infrastructure.
The Bahamas is bracing for the impact of Tropical Storm Erika, and while some Bahamians may not be taking this storm serious because it's still a tropical storm, Joseph, who has experienced Erika, had this advice for Bahamians.
I'm saying to Bahamians that they should never take natural disaster to be a joke. Natural disaster, don't always tell you when it is coming and where it is coming to. This time, sometimes, for hurricanes, they give us the path. I'm saying to Bahamians, please, I'd appreciate that you do not take this storm as a play game, because in Dominica right now we know what we are suffering. There are over, I am fit to say that there's over $100 million in loss in terms of infrastructure. Not talking about private property, not talking about lives.
It's noteworthy that in the past, some of the most devastating floods that affected the Bahamas came through tropical storms or severe weather systems. Meantime, meteorologists forecast that the Bahamas will begin feeling the effects of Tropical Storm Erika by Friday. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
As New Providence braces itself for the arrival of Tropical Storm Erika, it's already claimed many lives in Dominica, as we had told you. Some businesses say they've benefited here from significant boosts to sales. Cleopatra Murphy visited Chelsea's Choice and SuperValu this morning as they get ready for the storm's impact.
Hurricane spelled good business for Chelsea's Choice, where operations manager Aaron Wilson says the company moves in excess of 7,000 5-gallon bottles of water a day.
The business pick up tremendously during the hurricane time. Everybody got their water, and we got the best water in the world, so people flock us just like birds.
Customers looking to purchase water Thursday were greeted with a long line, evidence of the rush that Wilson says gives the water company a 100% sales boost when a hurricane is traveling. Over at SuperValu on Mackey Street, Hannah McPhee shared some of her must-have goods as she rushed to beat the crowd.
Tuna and sardine, and maybe some diced tomatoes.
Those canned goods were among those moving fastest from the shelves, as well as bread, cleaning supplies, water, and other non-perishable goods, according to the store's assistant manager, William Poitier.
Persons from this morning have been in and out, and we haven't had a chance to really give the cashiers any time to break.
One of those customers, Edwin Johnson Jr., says he and his family were tracking the storm and knew they had to prepare.
We took out our shutters, we filled up the cars with some gas, and now we're just shopping for some canned goods and dry items.
With a steady stream of customers, Poitier says the store has seen a tremendous sales boost because Bahamians are taking Tropical Storm Erika seriously. He pointed out what he says is a different trend from past hurricane seasons.
Having experienced hurricanes in the past, I would say that persons appear to be a bit more inclined to get a head start on things. So I've seen persons coming in before time and picking up what it is that they need. So I've seen an increase with regards to the customers coming in compared to past instances.
With customers clamoring to purchase goods before Erika's arrival, both officials at Chelsea's Choice and Super Value say they intend to stay open as long as they can to accommodate those demands. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Students across the country may have a few more days away from the classroom as education officials announced today that classes will not resume until next week, Monday, September 7th. This all comes just hours before Tropical Storm Erika takes aim at the Bahamas. LaDawn Davis attended a press conference this afternoon and has a breakdown on these major school delays and renovations.
To this end, the opening of public schools in the Bahamas will be delayed. We want to urge all principals and staff to properly secure their schools.
As the Bahamas prepares for the impact of Tropical Storm Erika, Minister of Education, Science and Technology, the Honorable Jerome Fitzgerald, revealed Thursday that all public schools across this country will be closed on Monday, August 31st and Tuesday, September 1st. All administrators, teachers, and faculty should report for duty on Wednesday, September 2nd. He says first-time 7th through 10th graders in junior and senior high schools are expected to report for orientation on Thursday, September 3rd. Additionally, first-time students in grade 8 through 11th must report to school for orientation on Friday, September 4th. All other students must return to the classroom for the first official day on Monday, September 7th. But in addition to that, the education minister also explained the scope of school repairs underway. In fact, he says the government dished out $7.6 million and more than 300 contracts were awarded this year for renovations. While applauding the Ministry of Works for their efforts, he says it's the ministry's intent to ensure that the physical conditions of schools are conducive for learning.
Insisted that we receive quality service and quality finished products from our contractors. All principals are now required to sign off on all scopes of works before contractors are paid. The scope of works, as always, was quite varied. Some schools required minor works, while others required quite extensive, as was the case of E.P. Roberts here. In New Providence is where we required most of the school repairs. The nature of the works encompassed electrical, plumbing, masonry, welding, carpentry, and painting.
While Education Minister the Honorable Jerome Fitzgerald says several students have also been relocated as a result of school renovations.
Yeah, there are two schools that will require some work going on during the school opening. One is the A.F. Adley Junior High School, where we have had to close out all of the trailers at A.F. Adley and had to relocate the students there. The Rumkey All-Age School in Rumkey is requiring some $500,000 worth of renovation, and the 9 students that are there will be relocated to the local church.
Some $15 million has been spent to renovate the E.P. Roberts Primary School. LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm LaDawn Davis. According to cruisefever.net, Carnival Cruise Line has sent a proposal to the government to build a private port in eastern Grand Bahama. Although Carnival Cruise Line is the largest cruise line in the world, the company currently does not own a private port or island. The article noted that Grand Bahama residents are afraid that Carnival will replace port stops in Freeport with the new private port if the proposal passes. The online article continued that no timetable has been given. However, if approved, it will likely be welcome news to cruisers who either stay on the ship in Freeport or who bypass cruise itineraries that stop there. Illinois Belleville News Democrat is reporting online that most U.S. travelers planning a trip for the upcoming Labor Day weekend plan to go south to the Bahamas. Now, according to a top 10 list of travel destinations for the holiday, technology travel search company Switchfly Incorporated ranks the Bahamas as the first choice of Americans who will be traveling for the Labor Day weekend. Now, other destinations include New York City, Las Vegas, and 3 Florida destinations. And in international business news, the Canadian dollar dipped to just below the 75-cent U.S. level for the first time since 2004. Officials say the outlook for the Canadian dollar is uncertain because there are doubts over whether the U.S. Fed will raise rates in September in light of the current market turmoil. At the same time, Bank of Canada Governor Stephen Poloz might be tempted to cut rates, which would also push the dollar lower. And that's your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm LaDawn Davis.
Baha Mar announced today that its affiliated entities that commenced Chapter 11 cases before the United States Bankruptcy Court have filed a Chapter 11 plan of reorganization with that court. Baha Mar stated the filing of the Chapter 11 plan is an important step in Baha Mar's restructuring efforts. The plan, they say, presents a viable framework for the Baha Mar's emergence from Chapter 11 and the expeditious resumption and completion of the construction of Baha Mar. Most notably, the plan provides the valid claims of Bahamian creditors and the government of the Bahamas will be unaffected by the Chapter 11 and upon implementation of the plan would be paid in the ordinary course of business. Baha Mar says its priority is to complete the resort's construction properly and open successfully as soon as possible. And this plan is structured to enable Baha Mar to achieve this objective. Once completed, Baha Mar is projected to generate nearly 5,000 new jobs in the Bahamas and have an annual payroll in excess of $130 million, representing nearly 12% of the GDP of the Bahamas. Well, the Family Island Connection brought to you by BTC. Up next, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. A family that prays together stays together, and that's a principle a group of women on Crooked Island have adopted in the interest of their community. Tonight, the women in the ministry prayer group, the work they do, and the sponsor that's a big part of the prayer circle. Here's Keishla Adley with tonight's BTC Island Connection.
She's been walking these beaches for a long time. It's a time to pray and reflect alongside her beachfront business. Though she runs the Sunset Beach Resort, it's her Christian duty which also helps to keep her busy.
We want to give you this as a token of our love. From the Women in Ministry Prayer Group.
The Women in Ministry Prayer Group has been part of the Crooked Island community since the year 2000. It's a vehicle for sharing with the community, especially the elderly who need help. This food basket recipient, though appreciative of the donation, seemed more curious about the cameras in her dining area.
How you doing?
Fine, and you, so what are you doing?
I'm taking some pictures of everything, if you don't mind.
Put you on TV so the Bahamas could meet you.
To meet me?
Yes.
Then bring in money?
BTC has, as the women in ministry continue to spread the love.
I think it was early last year, we were so elated that we got a donation from BTC. That was the first ever very good donation, and that has been very helpful to us when we want to reach out to help people in need. We have people who come who have medical concerns, you know, unexpected things happen and people need a helping hand. Family death in the family, a lot of things that are unexpected, hardships that come upon people, and we reach out to help.
The gift of speech, God, we give you praise and we thank you. Over 1,000 tongues to thank you this morning, Father. We bless your name forever. We ask you, Father, please continue to...
This retired teacher has no plans of slowing down. She says as long as there's breath in her body and there are sponsors like BTC, the physical and spiritual food is on her. Keishla Adderley for the BTC Island Connection.
Time now for a check on Family Island weather. Meteorologist Greg Thompson joins us live in the Weather Center with the details on what's going to be happening as we get ready for the impact of Tropical Storm Erika.
Yeah, hi Chris, and good evening everybody. Of course, all eyes and attention towards Erika. The warnings, the watch actually continues for the southeast Bahamas, and an alert continues for the central Bahamas. That system is on its way, and we'll see how things are being shaping up there. Locally though, we still have this stubborn trough hanging around our area, bringing us some showers and thunderstorms across the northwest Bahamas. We're getting a southerly flow bringing some moisture from the Caribbean as well. That kept temperatures kind of cool across the northwest Bahamas, but a little warmer across the central and southeast Bahamas. Right now, temperature-wise, it is pretty much cooler across the northern islands in the upper 70s, 77 in Alistown, Bimini, as well as in Freeport. We have 78 there, as Marshall is also at 78. Warmer in Great Harbour Key, 82, 84 in Fresh Creek, Andros, as well as in Kemps Bay. We pick up 83s, 83 in New Bight, Cat Island, 82 in Rock Sound, and of course in Governor's Harbour, you guys at 81. Further south, as we take the jog into the central and southeastern islands, temperatures much warmer there into the mid-80s. 84s in Georgetown, as well as Deadman's Key, Duncantown, Ragged Island, Acklands, and Crooked Island, Abrams Bay. Rum Key and San Salvador, Coburn Town, you guys at 83. And deep south, our neighbors at the southeast, Turks and Caicos Islands, you guys currently at 84. Tonight's boating forecast is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. Across all areas tonight, those winds are going to be out of the east to southeast at around 10 to 15 knots, seas running 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Your low tide will take place at 1 a.m. in the morning. We actually have a high tide right now. Come tomorrow, those winds will continue out of the east to southeast, but they will be picking up speed as that system approaches us. Most of the winds will be down the southeast and central Bahamas, 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet over the ocean. Your high tide, 6:57 in the morning, low tide taking place at 1:10 in the afternoon. For Saturday, that system is expected to be in the southeast and central Bahamas. So we have tropical storm conditions out there. Winds going to be blowing very strongly out of the east-northeast to east-southeast, 20 to 35 knots. Rough seas out there. Low tide will be at 11:18 in the morning, high tide at 5:43 in the afternoon. Then on Sunday, those tropical storm conditions will continue throughout the chain of islands. Those winds going out of the northeast to east, 30 to 40 knots, staying mainly to the east of the islands. Sea is very rough out there, so we're asking you boaters to remain in port. High tide will be at 8:41 in the morning, and low tide taking place at 2:56 in the afternoon. That's a look at your boating forecast. Your travel forecast tonight is being brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's a look at your travel forecast brought to you tonight by Royal Star Assurance. A look at your complete forecast as well as what Erika is going to do is still to come.